All right, I'm going to go ahead and begin the webinar. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us for our second Self-Care Share Wednesday webinar. For those of you who may not be familiar with who we are, FPC is the Fort Bend Community Prevention Coalition, and we work for and with the Fort Bend County community in an attempt to raise awareness of what substance abuse might look like within our community, as well as how we can all work together to help prevent it, specifically amongst youth and young adults. Working in substance abuse prevention, we have seen firsthand where substance abuse has sometimes started due to persons self-medicating in regard to trying to cope or deal with negative emotions such as stress, anxiety, depression, fear. And we've also seen firsthand where some substance abuse has started as maybe substance use in an attempt to treat or manage physical pain, whether that pain was caused by an injury or maybe recovery after a major surgery or even a medical condition that causes physical discomfort. So why we as a community prevention coalition collectively agreed that overall health and wellness really is key to preventing substance use that could develop into substance abuse. And it's really and truly the inspiration behind these Self-Care Share Wednesday webinars. We are highlighting different services and activities within our community in hopes that we share something that might pique your interest and you try it out and it helps you feel your best and overall helps you be your best. So with that being said, and without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Mrs. Katie Hotzel of Fort Bend County. Katie?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Katie Hotzel, as Christina said, and I, there's a lot. Can you show the first slide, Christina? I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm coming.
Just want to give you a little intro to myself. She was talking about self-care and the importance of that. There's a saying that says you can't pour from an empty cup, right? And I know many of us have dependents, children, or even parents sometimes, and we just have the heart for other people. And so you really have to make sure your cup is full before you pour into anybody else. And so that's something I try to live by taking good care of myself. When I feel my best and when we feel our best, we tend to do our best. We have the energy to do our best. So what I've been asked to talk to you about today in regards to self-care is physical fitness. And I am a certified Jazzercise instructor. So that's kind of what's going to be the focus today. But I also wanted to touch on the fact that I've been a registered nurse for about 18 years now. I've worked most of those years in the Houston Methodist Hospital System. For the last 5 years, I've been a lactation consultant, internationally board certified. I have my own business where you see there, Katie Knows Breast, pretty catchy. I always get comments about how clever that is, but anyway, or giggles, you decide. And this is where I go to homes and, where the mother is requesting help with breastfeeding her newborn, or she's hitting, a struggle months down the road. I can do phone consultations or come to their house and help with whatever is needed. And then, I'm a certified Jazzercise instructor for the last 3 years at the Jazzercise Sugarland Center. This is on Williams Trace and Highway 6 in First Colony area. But in both areas, as a registered nurse in the labor and delivery and the childbirth center, working with moms and helping them do hard things, breastfeeding is hard. Physical fitness is hard, and it should be hard because what doesn't challenge you won't change you, right? So I guess working with women and empowering and encouraging women's health and motivating women is kind of my passion. And so both of these, the nursing being my career and this being more of a hobby, I love the merriment of that I can do both and provide education, encouragement, and empowerment in both places. So The top picture there is my husband and my two boys. I have two sons. They are 10 and 7. So yeah, I'm outnumbered in the house. And so I just love community of women helping others, and let's get into it. Okay, so next slide. So Jazzercise, it is the original dance party workout. I'm sure by this point we're 50 years in with this brand. Judy Shepard was the founder of this 50 years ago, and I'm sure by now you have heard of it, whether your grandma participated in Jazzercise or your mom. Somebody you know somewhere most likely has mentioned it, or you've seen, aerobics videos on TV. But I kind of want you to think about like where you've heard it and what your opinion is, or what you think you know about it, because I will tell you a lot of the things I've heard is, oh, that's for old people, or it's not hard enough. I'm a fitness junkie and Jazzercise is just dancey. I hear things like, oh, I can't dance, there's no way I can do that, or I'm too embarrassed to do that. So anyway, I kind of want to just give you a peek into our world if you've never done this before, and hopefully spark some interest. But most importantly, get you excited about exercise, and you'll see why I love Jazzercise. Hopefully you'll see that because of what it brings, all the things that it brings, with mind, body, and spirit. Next slide, please. So what is Jazzercise? It's an inclusive women-owned fitness company dedicated to helping people live healthier, happier lives. We believe that working out is about more than looking great. It's about feeling great. The program fuses dance, cardio, and strength training into one heart-pounding sweat session. So in that picture, that's me in the front, and then we've got a room full. It's pre-COVID times, but we're getting back to it slowly but surely. Next slide. All right, tell me more. Jazzercise is one of the world's leading dance fitness companies with over 8,300 franchisees. That's what I am. Teaching 32,000 or more classes per week in 32 countries around the world. Jazzercise is huge in Japan and Italy. It's very popular in those two countries. Instructors train every year to master the Jazzercise method, which uses cardio, resistance training, Pilates, yoga, kickboxing, and the demanding forms of dance. Classes include interval, dance mix, fusion, flip fusion, strike, core, and strength. We'll touch on those in a little bit. With constantly changing moves, new beats, a variety of workouts, and calorie crushing intensity, customers can expect to feel results after 3 classes and expect to stick with it. We have found that most people who try it end up staying. So it's just a matter of kind of getting the preconceived notions out of your mind first. So there you can go to jazzercise.com, put in your zip code, find centers in your area. I'm hoping that you will give us a visit at Sugarland. So next slide, please. Jazzercise was recently, as it's becoming more and more popular, was highlighted on the Today Show. And I just wanted to share this like 4.5-minute video with you all because it does a really nice kind of packages all up and puts a nice little, summarizes what it's all about. You get to meet the faces behind it in this little video. So I'm going to have Christina start that.
This morning, we are taking you behind a popular fitness brand that helped make leotards and leg warmers cool.
Jazzercise is still going strong, even today with outdoor and virtual classes. I remember, seriously, popping in VHS tapes and doing Jazzercise.
She's not kidding. She was
with
just
my mom.
doing the move.
Yeah. So I wanted to see if I still have the moves. It's a family affair. Take a look.
I think about it as my passion, and yet the passion has a purpose to help women and men all over the world to feel better about themselves.
For more than 50 years, Jazzercise has been dancing to the beat of its own drum.
Hit it! Come on now! We're gonna get jazzy, sugar!
Known for its bright tights and gyrating moves, Judy Shepard Missett created the fitness phenomenon that combines aerobics and dance back in 1969.
Tell me about how it kind of started.
I was teaching classes, and mostly there were women in the class, but they wouldn't stay. So I asked them, hey, what am I doing wrong? And they said to me, well, Judy, the class is great, But we don't want to be a professional dancer. We just want to look like one. And that was the aha moment.
Judy changed her teaching format by turning her students away from the mirror, having them follow her lead instead. And just like that, Jazzercise was born.
The more I taught, the more people wanted the class, and it just grew and grew and grew until I was teaching like 30 classes a week.
In the 80s, Jazzercise grew in popularity, going on to perform at the 1984 Olympics, NFL halftime shows, and all across the world. Today, the leotards and leg warmers are a thing of the past, and the fitness craze has become a family affair, with Judy's daughter, Shanna Missett Nelson, becoming not only an instructor, but the company's president.
When did you know that you wanted to join Shanna, the family business?
I really thought that everyone's moms put like leotards and tights on and like dashed out the door. It wasn't until I was in college and I was going to Jazzercise a lot. And so finally, one of the instructors there, she's just like, I signed you up for the training. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. But I was like, I'm not telling anyone because if I don't pass, that's so embarrassing. So I kept it a secret the whole time until I did pass.
Shanna surprised her mom, Judy, with the news. And just recently, Shanna's oldest daughter, Skyla, followed in her mother and grandmother's footsteps too, becoming a certified Jazzercise instructor at 18 years old.
I've always grown up with these role models in my life of strong women, and I wanted to be a part of that.
The family business is now a nearly $100 million empire with 8,300 franchises in 25 countries.
I love the fact that we not only empower women through fitness, but we offer them business opportunities as franchisees.
Even in the midst of a pandemic, the global dance fitness brand is still moving and grooving, with 11,000 people tuning in to their first live stream class back in March.
Skyla, what would you say to people who think, oh, Jazzercise, that's just for those moms over there?
I look back to when I was 10 years old and I would invite my friends to classes so we could take from my mom. I never felt out of place as a 10-year-old, and I still don't feel out of place as an 18-year-old.
I think the biggest part of Jazzercise that is so important is our community. You can have someone in their 60s taking class next to someone in their 30s, and everybody's getting what they want, and there's just no judgment. So I think that has really been part of our secret sauce and keeping it fun.
So now let's do a little something. I'm so excited.
We're gonna do a little march. Now reach up overhead and plies.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, rock it back. I love your smile. 1, 2, 3. Now 4 knees, right, left. I'm gonna pass it off to my jammy right here.
All right, what you doing?
It was so much fun. I didn't have my
keep watching.
my VCR, but Shanna has another daughter, Sienna, who's 15. Who knows, maybe Jazzercise is in her future too. Classes are available on the Jazzercise On Demand app. I had such a good time talking with them, and like I said, it's a family affair and it's fun. So get out and
fun.
move,
It was
right?
fun to watch too.
Yeah.
Nice fun. This morning we are taking you behind.
Okay, thank you. So I hope you got a little better understanding. Just a couple of things that she talked about that I want to touch on is the community. I'll get to that a little bit later. We really do have all ages in there. We have a senior in college who's hooked, and I'll share her testimonial with you later. She's actually going to become an instructor. She tries out next week, I believe. It changed her life. So she's in it. And then we've got women in their 70s. One of our lifelong members is 82 and still coming. And there's no mirrors in the studios, just like it talked about in the beginning. It's kind of just part of the philosophy to just follow the instructor and don't worry about what you look like or what others are doing. And she said something about no judgment. Absolutely. Like everybody works at their own strengths and their own pace. And we have all different class formats that you can see listed here to fit everybody's individual, goals or desire or needs. So Dance Mix is the original. You're going to see an example of that later with yours truly. It is a 45 to 55 minute class. Other formats are interval dance mix. Well, let me explain this a little bit. Dance mix, and you'll see on the right this picture of the target your intensity, the curve. Okay. This is how we work. We start in the yellow at the beginning with a warm up, and the routines get increasingly more intense. And then we talk about being at the top of the curve with like the 2 hardest routines or the most intense routines. And then we start working down the curve. And so then we get into our strength training and then into our cool down. So that's kind of the model for our workout. So with dance mix, you're definitely going to get that. Interval dance mix is you're going to get a lighter intensity routine, and then a high intensity, and then a low intensity and a high intensity. Many of you may have heard of interval training. That's exactly what that is, but it's the cardio first and then the strength second. Low is our low impact, where we basically just drop any hopping. Skipping becomes a march. A jump becomes just a lift, like a level change. It's hard for me not to sit here and kind of do it. Let's see what else. Maybe we don't squat, or we use the word plie, because this is dance. We don't plie as deeply. There's just versions of our routines that can be done in low impact. And so if you've never tried it before, if someone comes to me and says, hey, I want to try it, but I'm not sure if it's going to be too hard or too bouncy or whatever, it's still very challenging. Oftentimes I burn more calories on low impact because you're using muscle intensity more than you're using momentum, like with jumping. But it's a great place to start, so you can really learn your footing and not feel, but there's a couple of low impact classes offered every day. Express is a 30-minute class. It's a dance mix type format, and we just get it done. Strike is a dance mix set, but with the routines being geared or focused more towards kickboxing. So you're going to get more punches and jabs and kicks in those, but still dancey. Flip fusion format is going to be, you would warm up and you would have a dance routine and then 3 strength routines, and they would all target, upper body. And then you would dance one routine, kind of get your heart rate up. And then you would do 3 strength routines targeting on the lower body, and then a dance routine, 1 or 2. And then the end would be 3 abdominal routines. So it's a nice mix. It's mostly strength, but you're getting little bursts of cardio in there. Fusion is similar in that you have 2 dance and 1 cardio, 2 dance and 1 cardio. And so you're going back and forth. Interval fusion is probably my favorite. It's so fun. It's very effective. Blast calories in this one. And that is where you do all of the cardio routines are considered high intensity. They're the heavies as what they're labeled. We have light, medium, and heavy. So you're alternating a heavy with a strength, a heavy and a strength. Okay. That one is very fun. And then at the end, you just do a few, abdominal exercises, and then the cool down and stretch. Our strength classes come in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and 60 minutes. I just taught the strength 45 this morning, and I love it. Sometimes 60 feels like too much for some people. 30 just isn't quite enough, but I felt like 45 is just right. So there's something for everybody. If you're not sure about the dancing, maybe try a flip fusion first, where you're only going to do it a few times and most of it is strength, that kind of thing. All right, next slide, please. All right, so many of you have heard this before. I found this on healthline.com. We want you to come and reap the many benefits of cardiovascular exercise, because we do that. So with cardiovascular exercise comes improves your heart health. It lowers your blood pressure. It helps regulate blood sugar, therefore decreasing risk of diabetes. It reduces your asthma symptoms, reduces chronic pain, aids in sleep. You've heard this, right? You exercise, you'll sleep harder. Regulates your weight, strengthens your immune system, which I think we've all been working really hard on that here lately. Improves brain power, boosts mood, and reduces risk of falls. The brain power, I will tell you, since I've become an instructor and learning choreography and remembering it, and you're really using your brain when you're doing this class too. And so we all agree, we're kind of all on the same page. It actually makes us feel a little more alert, a little sharper because of that. Next slide. Interval training. HIIT is also what it's called. It's high intensity interval training. Some of you may have heard this before. It involves short bursts of intense exercise alternated with low intensity recovery periods. So that's going to be like your interval formats, the ones I talked about, where we're going up and down, kind of a roller coaster when it comes to heart rate. High intensity interval training is a very efficient way to exercise and may help you burn more calories than you would with other forms of exercise. Some of the calories burned from high intensity intervals come from a higher metabolism, which lasts for hours after you exercise. So getting it going in the morning, eating well throughout the day, you're going to continue to burn calories for like 6 to 8 hours after your workout. And overall, HIIT produces many of the same health benefits as other forms of exercise, but in a shorter amount of time. These benefits include lower body fat, heart rate, and blood pressure. HIIT may also help lower blood sugar and improve insulin sensitivity, decreasing your risk of diabetes. It's just in a shorter period of time, and taking that heart rate up and down. It's super effective and very efficient, and that you don't have to work out for hours. Okay, next slide, please. Benefits of strength training: it reverses signs of aging, improves brain health, better insulin sensitivity, reduces risk, and can actually reverse osteoporosis, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke, increases self-esteem, makes you stronger, fitter, aids in weight and fat loss. We have some older customers who don't love coming to the strength classes, but they do it because they know that their bones need it. Along with all these other benefits, as we get older, our bone density decreases. And so we need to have stronger muscles to support those bones. And I actually knew that it reduces the risk of osteoporosis, but I just learned recently that it actually can reverse it. So that's huge, especially for the aging community. Next slide. Okay, so with these workouts, you're going to hear us in class talking about hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Drinking plenty of water before and after a workout is very important. So you've got a refreshing glass of water there to show that. And then just fueling your body properly. I believe there's going to be a speaker on nutrition on a webinar if there hasn't already. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But I thought this was a good picture of getting the healthy fats and the proteins with the nuts and the eggs, and then your fruits and veggies there, obviously with all their vitamins and nutrients they provide. These foods are going to give you energy to exercise, not Doritos, not Coca-Cola, water and clean eating. I would love to be able to tell you I eat clean all the time, just like this picture. That's my lunch every day, but that's not the case. Unfortunately, we're human, but I live by a everything in moderation rule. It just depends on what your goal. When you're maintaining, you can kind of live by that a little bit better, but I do not believe in deprivation. You need to fuel your body. And that's all I'll say about that. Next slide. All right, so I just wanted to share a couple of pictures with you guys, kind of just talking about our community and Jazzercise. The picture on the left is a event we do maybe once a year. We try to do it more. It's been a strange year, as you all know. So we haven't done anything like this in quite a while, but it is a mom and me style class. And so it was around Christmas time during our grand opening a couple years ago. Danielle is on stage there with her little one, and she led a class with kid-friendly moves, basic choreography that they could follow along, and it was tons of fun. So we'll have events like that. On the right, you'll see a class that was during Halloween. Every holiday we'll have special classes basically all week long. The instructor kind of just takes their individual liberty as to when they want to do their themed class. And Ashley up there on the top right, she's the blonde holding the white pumpkin. She is the studio owner, and this was her, I think it was an interval fusion class for Halloween, and we were told to bring our own pumpkin to use as a weight, and that was really fun. So we'll do special things like that. Next slide, please. We're very involved in the community. We have a Mother's Day celebration happening on in the town center. This is where we're at here in this picture at Sugarland Town Center. We have it coming up, I believe, May 7th on Friday night at 7 p.m. It's going to be out on the steps. That's what we're trying to do with these big events, is do them outdoors where more people feel safe and want to get involved. And there's obviously more space outside as well. But this was back in, I believe, October. And we did a breast cancer awareness event where we danced on the steps of the town hall there, and then had about, I think like 50 participants on the lawn dancing with us. It was awesome. Everybody wore pink. We recognized some survivors in the community, one of them being the instructor on the far left there. She's at the very end at the top row. She is still fighting breast cancer, but we just wanted to recognize her, and then several others in the community. People brought a loved one, a friend, just to inspire them and just show them some love. So that was a great time. Next slide, please. Supporting one another. This is truly a fit family. You heard earlier that we don't judge. That is a huge thing, but also it just becomes a sisterhood. It becomes family. The customers, they've come up with their own term, Jazzer sister. They're friends. They'll do anything for each other, especially if they've known each other a while. But it's very encouraging, very supportive. We celebrate each other's goals and accomplishments. So the pictures on the right hand side, the top picture is after a 5:30 a.m. class. Rolly in the middle has her tank top that she won during our February challenge. You had to complete 26 classes in 28 days, and she did it. And so I presented her with the tank top, and we get a picture. And with the customer's approval, we'll put it on social media to share. And then Teresa down at the bottom is one of our longtime customers. She had hit 275 classes. The goal is, I think you win a tank top if you get 150 classes in a year. So some of these women come just about every day, and they will hit, I think Franca had like 500 classes last year. She loves it. And she still goes for walks and does other things, but she definitely comes and sometimes doubles up. On the left-hand side is one of our favorite instructors, Monique. I don't remember what month this was, but it was during, COVID kind of lockdown. The parades were very popular. And so we wanted to send her off with a farewell parade as she was moving to Austin. Her husband lost his job during the pandemic, and they were relocated. And so not only did we do this for her, but many of the ladies just did like a donation, just gathered up dollars, to kind of help them through that tough time. So you're going to get a lot of that when you become part of our family. All right, next slide. This is a picture of all the instructors at our center. This is the Jazzercise Sugarland studio, like I said, at Highway 6 and Williams Trace. Our website is there, our telephone number. And you'll see the email address down at the bottom is Ashley, the blonde in the middle. She's the owner. I will share this again at the end in case you don't catch it, so you can jot it down if you're interested. Next slide. Oh, but I just wanted to touch on one thing. Can you go back? I'm sorry. Even our instructors, the two on the left, they're in their 50s. Daniela's young 30s, then Mary number in the fourth in the orange pants. She's 65 or 67, and she's been teaching for 25 years. She's amazing. People who go to her classes say that it's like going to church. Like, she is just so, it's like, she's so fun. You feel amazing after you leave. The lady with the short blonde hair is Lauren. Her smile is infectious. We've got Bonnie with the red hair, her, and then Tammy. Well, Bonnie's with the redhead, and then Ashley's in the center. I'm to the right of Ashley, and then Tammy just behind my shoulder. Both her and Bonnie with the long red hair were Texans cheerleaders. So they're phenomenal dancers, but like just excellent instructors. Like, they know how to teach choreography. You'll always feel safe in their classes because they cue really well. You'll see the three redheads kind of clustered together. Marsha's in the middle, and her two daughters, Kara and Leanne, both became instructors. They're in their 20s. Marsha's in her 50s. And then Aaron with the long dark hair is 30s. And then Casey at the end is 40s. So this is kind of what our family looks like. It doesn't matter the age, size, shape. We're all different. And so come one, come all in Jazzercise. I just wanted to highlight them because they're a big part of this. I don't want this to just be me. I wanted to make sure I introduce them as well. Okay, next slide. All right, so I'm going to show you here in just a minute a video of me. Christina asked if I could share just a few minute video of me in action. I chose dance mix format because it is the original format, that was developed. It's the most popular. The majority of our classes are dance mix. Some of them will be low impact, like we talked about. But it will leave you feeling energized for hours. It is set to your favorite top hits. It's a full body workout. It combines 40 minutes of high intensity dance-based cardio with 20 minutes of strength training and stretching. Easy to follow moves, certified instructor to motivate you. You'll dance, jump, kick, plank, push up, and crunch your way to a happier, healthier you. So just want to tell you real quick that because of the time restraint on this video, I wanted to just kind of go through what you would see as like the first 5 routines. And the format would be a warm up. It's called an open isolation. So we kind of work down head to toe, if you will, kind of stretching it all out and warming it up. And then we're going to start with a light medium, which is kind of another warm up, getting into it. And then a medium routine, a medium heavy, and then I end with a heavy. And so that's what the front half looks like. And then after this last routine that you'll see, you're going to have another heavy and then start working back down, just like that curve I showed you before. And so you would go heavy, medium, light, medium on the back half. And then we would get into the strength and the stretch. I was not able to demonstrate any strength or stretching because of the time constraint, but I just wanted to explain that. Typically in class, you would not see the instructor changing the song. It would just flow one right into the other. We stick our endings. That's a big thing. And we try to cue ahead of time so that we can all pose together at the end of each routine. But you're not going to see that here because I had to kind of just move through it. So next slide. All right. If you want to, get some tennies on and stand up and join if you'd like.
Left, little shake. Don't get yourself dizzy. Right here, last time. And shake. March it out then. Right there. Now arms up, sit down. Do it again. You're low here. Now lengthen up, and sit. Something different. You're gonna reach front this time. Reach and sit. Let's do it one more time. Good. Reach it. All right. Walk it up 8. Strut it. Shoulders. Push, pull, and wiggle. Take it back. So, we work down from head to toe. This is called an open isolation. Push and pull. Take it back. And we kind of repeat. There's a pattern, yeah? Now wiggle. March out next. Right there. Now right arm only. Sit, left arm. Good, march out in. Right arm up. Left arm up. This time, take it across the body. Right arm across. Stretch the shoulder blades. Do it again. Good. Take it across and down. Now walk it up. We've got ribs. Slide it. And pop it. Take it back. 8 count. Rib slide. All right. I'm going to finish this up here. Then I'm going to get into our first cardio song. I think you have the gist, yes? Take it back. All right, last rib slide. And we would continue down the body. March out in. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's start the first cardio. Touch it in 4. Do it again. Shoulder dip in 3. Touch. So you low in those legs, shoulders in 3s. Touch. Again. All right, get ready. You're going to give me 4 heels right front. Back ball change, right and left. Do it again. We've got 4 of them. This song is good vibes. We're started off right. Good vibes only. All positive here. Back ball. into that shoulder dip. Right there. Touch it in, use the inner thigh. Yes, dip, dip, touch. So you've seen the first part, which is right here, and the second part is the heels, and we would just repeat it. Back to the heels, back ball. I dare you to walk down the sidewalk like this. Say, don't look at me, it's not only y'all. Don't you rain on my parade. One more. All right. Go into the next cardio. All right, here we go. Take it down and up. Shoulders forward and back 2. Keep going. Down 2, up 2. So sit in the heels. It's a plie. Now, double down. Right, left. Push, pull, right in front of that face. Good. Lateral step jump to right. Now hop heel left. Hit the heel. Do it right. Hop heel. Go again. Push. Push. So you gotta jump as you move to the right. Hit the heel first. Now heel right. Step jump. Do it again. Step jump. Keep it going. 2 more. Step jump. Last one. All right. Single, single, double the knee. Pull, pull, double. So we're working core here, yes? Double pull. Again. 2 times. Single, single, double. Good. Going back to the plie shoulder. Good. Double jab. Do it again. Down 2, up 2, double jab. Again. This is a long set. But now you've seen everything, and we would repeat it. Jab it. Again. Good. Don't stop. Woo! One more. All right. Step jump right. Heels. So I'm going to go to the next one. Woo! You can see they get progressively harder as we work up curve. This is a hop slide. Jog in place. Knees are up. You're pumping it. Shoulders are pushing forward. All right, give me 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hop slide. Do it again. Hop slide. Keep going. Oh. Sometimes there's movers. Hop slide. Come on, finish all 8. 8, 7, 6, 5. All right, here we go. Trailing hip. 1 slow, 2 quick. Take it left. Lunge front. Pull the elbow in. Core tight. Do it again. 1 slow, 2 quick. Work those obliques. Pull. Pull. Run it again. That's the whole routine. Hop slide. 8 jogs. Hop slide. Good. Keep going. And we would repeat it. Woo! Heart rate's up. We're climbing up this curve. I'll show you that in a minute. Walk. Right here. Up on the balls of your feet. Little sideline walk. Push the right hip. Push. Push. Lots of oblique right here. Push. Push. Flat foot down. This is where we get to really have fun. Let it go. All right, ready? Walk it up to 4. Jump out in. Lunge 4. Hop 4. Take it back. Walk 4 back. Hop plie. Push into the triceps. Lunge 4. Hop 4. Do it again. Out in. Lunge. Hop. You can hear the music change. You know what's coming. Lunge. Hop. Here we go. Double hip. Do it 4 times. Jog right. Feet lift. Little football feet. Yeah. Push. Push. Core's tight.
That's always fun to watch yourself or hear yourself, isn't it? I don't know if it was glitchy for anybody else, but it seemed to be a little jumpy, robotic. I apologize for that. At least it was on my device. I hope you were able to see the moves clearly. I thank you so much for your time today. I'm sorry it went longer than maybe you were expecting. We would love to see you in the studio and online. I say online because there's still are people not comfortable, and totally understandable coming into a studio, but just to let y'all know, we are spaced. We have decals on the floor. Everybody's dancing 6 feet apart. You know, I think so many of our customers have been vaccinated as well. But and our classes tend to not go over like 15 people in the room, and we have a rather large studio. But with that being said, we are still streaming all of our classes. So if you look online at our class schedule, we're streaming them all online still, and you would be given, you know, the website and the password to access those. Jazzercise is generally $120 a month. There's no contract. You can stop anytime. If this sparked your interest at all and you want to give it a try, please contact me. My email address there is down at the bottom, and I will let you try a month for $60. That's half off. So email me if you are interested. And let's see the next slide real quick. We have other offers happening right now. Well, this is kind of always the 10 days for $39. This is a huge discount. The classes for an individual class is $30. You can come every day. So this is essentially $300 value for $39. But you can come 10 days. You have 10 days to come as many times as you want for $39. And then right now we're doing our April challenge. I mentioned earlier with the lady in the tank top, she won for a February challenge. This one is done this month in April. It's only $75 for the whole month. There's no strings attached. You don't have to join after that. But we have many who joined after the February challenge last year. But anyway, if you get 25 classes in the month of April, there's 30 days in April, I guess, you get a set of resistance bands. There's 5 with increasing resistance. So that's a deal as well, since it is 120 usually. All right, next slide. I just wanted to share a couple of testimonials. This is real quick. I put their ages so that you would see the variety in our clients and our customers. I wanted to read just one. I won't read them all to you. Peyton is the senior in college I was telling you about that will become an instructor. It says, not too long ago, I was battling one of the darkest and scariest times of my life, but this hour of happiness each day kept me going. Jazzercise has brought me joy, wellness, self-worth, rhythm, haha, and an incredible community who always have my back. It was a complete 180 from the toxicity and challenges of being a female collegiate athlete at a D1 university. She was at University of Texas as a swimmer. I'm so incredibly grateful that my mama made me step into the garage with her during quarantine and try Jazzercise. I have met so many incredible women who are the best role models, especially you. Long story short, Jazzercise quite literally saved my life. It was the reason I was able to get out of bed for months, and now I can't imagine my life without it. This just truly touches me. Being a college student during the pandemic, quarantine times, like this was so hard on her. There's a lot of things about her being an athlete. I won't get into her story, but it just was a really bad place. And so she decided to move back home. She's still finishing her degree through the university, since most of the classes have become online now anyway. But her mom, her sister, her grandmother, all of them come to Jazzercise, and we love them so much. And I love her story. Julie G on the right, she's one of our class managers in the morning. And Jody H, she was a longtime Zumba goer, and now she kind of jumped ship and came to Jazzercise, and she comes every day at 10:45, doesn't miss. All right, next slide. And then one off of this one, Teresa Mason was the picture I showed earlier where she reached 275 classes. Jazzercise is above and beyond all of the workout programs. I lost 120 pounds over 14 years ago, and Jazzercise is the key to keeping the weight off. It's a community of women that constantly motivate and challenge me to be my best, mind, body, and spirit. We love her. She's another class manager. She could go on and on, but I told him to keep it 1 to 3 sentences, and you can tell people have a hard time keeping it that short. But if you want to take a minute, and Rachel is our very pregnant customer. She has come consistently before being pregnant. She's due in 6 weeks and still comes almost every day. She does low impact. She does what she herself can do. And she's looking forward to recovering from a C-section a lot faster this time, because she can already tell that being in better shape is going to help with her recovery. All right, next slide. This is our studio instructors again. So if you wanted to jot down any of that information, if you didn't catch my email, it's Katie, Katie, Hotzel, Hotzel @gmail.com. That's if you want the discount, if you're interested in trying for a month. Or if any questions pop up along the way, just send me a message. And I think it's time for any questions.
All right, I was checking the chat box. I do not see any questions at this moment.
Okay.
And again, I can make your information available on our Facebook page. So
Okay.
yeah, on social media, if you don't already follow us on social media, you can check us out, Fort Bend CPC, Facebook and Twitter. So one more time, I'll check the chat. I don't see any questions. All right, well, thank you all so very much. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate
Thank you all for your attention. Thanks.
All right, bye, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening. All right.